What's going on, folks? Welcome to tonight's episode of the Running Gun Podcast. I'm Jay Peeps. Tonight, flying a little solo because, Ace has got some things he's working through right now, and we're going to wish him the best. We're going to pray for him and hope for the best for him and everything. And he may jump on a little bit later this evening. He may not. We shall see. But as you know, things got to go. Show must go on. So, hey. As you know, we got a lot of stuff to talk about tonight for sure. Of course, FAMU jumps into the top 20 of the FCS polls. They have a new AD, finally, the right one who should have been hired all along from the get-go. As well, too, a couple of key games, with really 3 key games to watch in the SWAC this weekend, along with, of course, wondering if the NFC South has finally become competitive, and among other things. As well to, the Bryce Young situation, of course. And then also to a couple of key games. Huge game here in Tampa this weekend that's coming up, as well as a huge SEC game taking place in Norman, Oklahoma this weekend as well, too. We're going to talk about who has the upper hand there. But, yeah, so all that and then some for tonight's episode of the Run Gun Podcast. It is just me, so as well, always keep the comment section coming, keep it jumping and stuff. But yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and roll this intro, and don't go anywhere. It's gonna be a fun one. Let's go.
Hey, what's going on, guys? This is GP.
This is the Bug.
This is JC.
This is Flash. This is Denny Hendricks.
And you're listening to
You're listening to
the Run and Gun Podcast.
So, with that being said, let's go ahead and jump right into it. Comment section is already interesting tonight. Comment section is already interesting tonight. But yeah, y'all be sure y'all like, share, and subscribe to the channel and everything. Be sure to leave a comment as well too. And let's go ahead and jump right into it now. NFC Least is back more than the NFC South is back. We're gonna save this. We're gonna save this part. We're going to save this for the next segment. But, as let's jump right into it already. So, FAMU looks to get back on the saddle this time against a reeling Troy team that's 0-3. But I got to tell you, folks, and we'll talk more about it on Saturday. I looked at Troy's games, last 3, against Memphis, against Iowa, and against Nevada. So, they led Nevada 14-0 before falling behind, where Nevada figured it out and stretched the field against them. They got outscored 28-12 after that 14-0 run by Nevada. And then, of course, physically just got dominated against Memphis. Some to note as well with that FAMU game coming up. Goose Crowder started the season for Troy, but he currently is not the starter now. Caldwell is currently their starter now, number 12. So that's something to keep an eye on too. But yeah, first year head coach Gerard Parker. They tackle well. And I'm going to say this. I'm going to say this now. If you are FAMU coming into this game, it's a tricky 0-3. This is a tricky 0-3. And I'm saying this, I'm speaking about this now, I'm previewing Saturday for a reason. This is a team where you better tackle well. Otherwise, Troy's going to be 1-3 by 10, 11 o'clock Saturday night. Because Taylor, the running back number 3, arm tackling ain't going to bring that guy down. There are certain things that I'll go further in detail in on Saturday. That Iowa, Nevada, oh my goodness, who's the other team they played? Memphis. All three of those teams did that benefited them. Troy can't make adjustments. So if FAMU starts hot for the first time this century, they got a chance. Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, defensive attacking Troy with your offense, if you can, and you have success doing it, you have a shot. And I'll say this now. This entails of wide receivers making the tough catches. Your wide receivers got to make the tough catches. Those 1v1s, you got to win your individual battles when you're lined up. Because I can probably guarantee Troy's going to probably come out against you and play you man because they want to see if you really got what it takes. You got to win those matchups. That's not just Jamari Gassett. That's, if he is playing Jalen Hodges, a couple others, Kamari. Yeah, oh my gosh, not Kamari Young. Jesus. It's been a long bye week. Oh my gosh, I'm trying to get back in the saddle here. Jalen Ward. Guys like that, all of them. It's going to entail of all of them. Bo Somerset, got to hit the hole hard. Kelvin Dean, got to hit the hole hard. Thad Franklin, got to hit the hole hard. Got to be able to pass catch. Kobe Gross and Carter Johnson making the tough contested catches as tight ends. Utilizing tight ends in this defense against this defense will be critical. Now on the other end, as well, Tina Bowler and Michael Opon, they're gonna have their hands full because, oh my gosh, kid's name, Taylor, number 3, or my bad, Ross, number 7, their wide receiver, 142 yards, 2 TDs, and 1 punt return TD against Iowa, and they will take shots deep. So this secondary is going to be tested. So if I'm FAMU's defense, rise to the occasion. Make life easy for this offense. I think this offense has a better shot taking advantage of what Troy's going to give them. But again, with FAMU's offense, it comes with taking advantage of the opportunities presented to you and not fumbling them. So when there's a contested catch there, you got to win it. You have to win it. But again, too, they're going to come in and respect you, though, too, because they do see you're the number 20 team in FCS football. So they realize they can get upset. And Troy is reeling right now. But they're also hungry for a win. So don't go in there. As it's funny enough, actually, I was watching the 220 QB Club meeting today. An elder member stated something that stuck with me that I wrote down. They mentioned playing with discipline. 15 yards ain't worth it. 15-yard penalty ain't worth it. The most dangerous team you can play is 0-3. Colsey actually agreed with this lady, too. She was spot on with her statement. And I absolutely agree. As well, too, Southern looked very pitiful against Jackson State. No surprise there. I think Southern may be worse now than they were the last 2 years. Also, the Jags are set to take on the Panthers this weekend in Prairie View. Honestly, I'm riding with Prairie View for that one. I am. After what I saw against Northwestern State, I'm more confident in Prairie View than I am in Southern. Southern came out, I felt like, and they looked very intimidated, very, very scared of the moment, or like the moment was too big for them playing in that environment. And, that kind of just makes me wonder, like, missed blocking assignments, a lot of, again, reaching, and a lot of just missed assignments on defense. And, it leads to what it led to. As well, too, Grambling set to host. Oh, my goodness, there's a freaking moth in here. Oh, we got a comment. Are the comments on X working? Yes, they are. But they're backwards. They're like that's interesting that you have that now. Because, my bad. Bear with us, folks. The YouTube comments filled in, and then after they spilled in, the X comments came up above it. That's interesting. Hopefully they spent the whole week learning how to tackle properly. I agree. Hopefully they did. It's funny. It's interesting. Colsey actually mentioned something. He said he expressed why he said it was needed to get back to the basics during the bye week. And I'm sure what the basics means is, as he mentioned, an emphasis on tackling. He mentioned too many guys were leaving their feet and not wrapping up. He sees what we all see, which is a very good thing. So hopefully it does get fixed. So stop leaving your feet, wrap up, and go through the guy when you tackle him. Too much reaching. And right now, this is the week where you better figure it out, because reaching ain't gonna cut it this weekend. The right side cornerback's gonna have to be ready to be picked on. Yeah, I would agree. And whether it's Opong or whether it's Bowler, I think both of them are up to the assignment, because now you know what to expect after watching 3 games worth of film, and especially against a Big Ten team, which was honestly, I think, the best team that Troy had played, which was Iowa. And we'll go further into detail about what Iowa is on Saturday too. But yeah, they saw the matchup that they liked against Iowa. They took advantage of it and they hit on it consistently. And they found a crease in Iowa's punt coverage. They took advantage of it. So that also tells you their punt coverage, kickoff return coverage is going to have to be on point this weekend. It has to be. If it's not, you're in trouble. But I'm confident that the special teams aspect of it will be what it's consistently been, and that's been, they do a good job of covering. They get the guy down. They know how to spot the ball. I think they'll be fine. But yeah, as I was saying though, Grambling is set to host JSU in the Hall this weekend in Grambling. Look, I know a lot of us are not fans of Jackson State. I'm actually hoping Grambling does win, but if I had to put money on it right now, I'm saying Jackson State. They have their weaknesses. I see it. Oh my goodness, is he here? This isn't Ace. Oh my goodness. Wait, where? Oh, wait. Hold on. Here we go.
My goodness.
There he is.
Oh.
Little blurry, but he's here.
Oh, we're live. We've been live. Okay.
Yeah, you actually just caught us in the middle of talking a little HBCU ball this evening. So, Mr. Sasser, how are you?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. It's been a crazy couple of weeks, I'm not going to lie, with work, traveling a lot. I'm currently in Aberdeen, Mississippi. So, yeah, I just had some
We were
really
just
good.
talking about Mississippi.
I had some really good I had the best freaking burger ever. Oh, my God. And truffle fries.
Yeah, truffle fries are pretty fire.
Yeah, they're so freaking good.
So tell us, who are you riding with this weekend between Southern and Prairie View?
Southern and Prairie View. I think you kind of know, like, I don't really watch a lot of the HBCU matchups, and I should, because honestly, they, like, looking at their scores a lot, they always tend to be either very close or sometimes there will be like a blowout for whatever reason. But Southern and Prairie View.
It's not in Southern. It's not in Baton Rouge. So it is in Prairie View, Texas this weekend. Southern just got drilled by Jackson State last week.
So, yeah, Southern lost last week. I mean, and it will be a tough battle. I think it would be a close game, but I'm going to say Prairie View.
Smart man.
I'm going to say Prairie View. I'm going to probably say, like, just, I don't know, just a random, like, spitball and guess. I'm going to guess, like, a score of, like, I don't know, let's say, like, 31-24.
Okay.
Like, you know, if you come back from, like, if you lose, like, in, like, your last week's matchup and you lose, like, so badly, like, yeah, it's going to be hard to climb, but you gotta try to climb. You got to get some points on the board.
So, loss in question that you're mentioning. So last week for Prairie View, or not for Prairie, but for Southern, so Southern got beat 33-15 in that matchup. The X comments suck. JH's gonna beat Grambling. Yep, I'm with you. Yo, Dalton, I'm chiming from comments. Yeah, he's got his hands occupied.
Oh shit.
See, Dalton, you're talking about the truffle fries, and now you got this man hungry.
Yeah, go get you some food, man. Go get you some
literally.
food. I honestly, I would make anyone hungry because for me, I will talk about food. Honestly, if I had a podcast, I'd be talking nonstop about food. I'd probably make people go out and get food all the time.
Oh my gosh. So at least now we know he's going with Prairie View this weekend. So tell me, you taking Jackson State, or you taking Grambling this weekend?
Jackson
So
State.
A little bit about it. So both teams come in 2-1. As far as Grambling goes, they won a close one in overtime, 35-28 against Texas A&M Community. I think this is. Oh, Commerce, Texas A&M Commerce. They won a close one against Texas A&M Commerce, 35-28 in overtime, and then Jackson State, of course, cruised to a 33-15 win over Southern last week.
Mm-hmm.
This game is in Grambling, so at the same time too, Grambling's QB matchup's pretty spot on, pretty dead even. Jacoby Morgan, 531 yards, 4 TDs, 1 interception. Miles Crawley, 595 yards, 6 TDs, 3 interceptions. Funny thing is, Grambling, from what I saw a Grambling person say, Jackson State had not had much success in Grambling until Coach Prime showed up, but Coach Prime's gone. So do things go back to the way they were, or do things stay the same?
I don't know. To be honest. Yeah, honestly, I couldn't tell you. I don't know.
I know it's tough.
Grambling versus JSU. And they're at JSU. But Grambling, you said Grambling lost last week?
Grambling won last week. They won against Texas A&M Commerce in overtime. 35-28.
You got to keep rising. You got to keep doing that climb. I'm saying Grambling.
Okay. I can ride with it. I know Ace feels a little different. Any update on the Bama A&M QB for next week? I haven't heard anything as far as that goes. Oh, okay. I see your comment. Forgetting his name. So that's Alabama State, buddy. That's Alabama State. So as far as I know, I think he's done for the year. That's October 5th. FAMU will play Alabama State for Alabama State's homecoming in Montgomery, and they'll be without Andrew Body, which is a huge blow to their offense, and honestly makes life easier for everybody that's going to play them in the East. He's done for the year. He's done for the year. Dang. That's a go ahead and kill that one. But yeah. So the other good news is, and this is where I pull out the images now. FAMU finally hired a new AD, Angela Suggs, who is born and bred FAMU and has worked in the athletic department for a couple of years now, and was initially supposed to be the hire, but was not because somebody got pushed to the forefront. So what do you make of the new AD hire at FAMU? Personally, I like it. Apparently, from what I've heard, she knows how to get to the money. She knows her stuff. She is the initial person that everybody wanted. And with that being said, now I'm going to go ahead and just pull up this little image I have right here. Where is it? Is that it? There it is. There it is. Oh, I'm going to share this now. Because so many people have the nerve to say, FAMU doesn't like black women. FAMU doesn't like big black women or thick black women and stuff like that. That's a big ass lie, quite frankly. And I got this image actually from Off Script. Shout out to him because he was the one that pulled this up. So we're gonna go through the candidates again for the last time, I hope, or last time for a while.
Last time forever.
So,
wow.
As we know, Tiffany Dawn Sykes was hired as FAMU's athletic director. Mr. Sasser, can you point to where Mrs. former AD Sykes was listed on this list? Come on, buddy.
Oh, bottom, very bottom.
Yeah, there you go. How many votes?
Sorry, that took a minute because I was just like looking through all the names, and you said Sykes, and I was like, let me just look for that last name. But I was like, yeah, bottom of the totem pole. Yikes.
Now, how many votes did she have?
Only 5.
Only 5. Jeez. Yeah. Goodness gracious. So you're wondering now, how did she get to the front of the line? And if you look there, Angela Suggs right there, candidate number 3, who was actually third on this list, too, behind Paula Jackson and Craig Angelos. By the way, Craig Angelos is now the acting athletic director on the Hawaiian Islands at the University of Hawaii. So it's like, hell, he can get fired tomorrow. He's living really well, which I don't blame him. That's not a bad place to go. I don't care how much I suck at my job, whether he's good or he's bad. I'm happy to be on the Hawaiian Islands and away from a lot of drama.
And that's just crazy. If that's like the most like recent thing, like up to date recent thing, like the fact that there's 5 people with 8 votes, that's like, yeah, I don't know. That's interesting.
Yeah. Oof. What's that smell? I don't know, sir. You tell me what that smell is. But again, you look at it and it's like she had 8 votes. She was third on the list. She was a top person. Oh my God. You need to stop. You need to stop. Stop.
And then she dropped all the way to the bottom, but then you saying she somehow is back on top again, or she's not on top?
Well, she got to the top and then got fired or let go, if I'm going to be nice.
Yeah.
Well, that's that. She was excellent for compliance. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to be honest with you there. She was excellent for compliance, did her thing, made sure the incident that happened in 2022 did not happen in 2023. And we're thankful for that. But outside of compliance, dude, she was not good at her job. She was not the first choice, as you can see. Mike Smith, who actually has been the interim AD multiple times, had more votes than her. Beat her by 1.
Yeah.
But I like this, though, honestly. Angela Suggs, I think she's going to do a fantastic job. Ace is so just rough. Golly, dude. Jeez.
Hey, by the way, Ace, if you're listening, I have a question for you later coming back about NFL. So when we get to NFL, but that's another story.
Now you're creating controversy amongst people now, Ace. Crazy.
Well, it's because of the damn fantasy thing. I don't do the fantasy football thing, and I'm just trying to figure it out, trying to learn it. And he proposed to me like 3 people for 2 people.
We'll talk about that when we get to NFL.
Yeah, we'll talk about that, but that's or just maybe at the very end of the podcast. But yeah,
Orange Blossom Classic, and look how that disaster game worked. Look, hey, so many people have varying opinions of the Orange Blossom Classic. I, for one, I enjoyed it. I like it. It's a nice little weekend, Labor Day weekend, getaway down to Miami. You go enjoy yourself, go do what you do. And the pay was supposed to go up every year. Had FAMU renewed the contract, I think it was supposed to go from like 450K to 500K to 550K after that. Hey, the price was going up. But I understand too, there's some people that are saying, why would we sacrifice a home game for this, this, and this? And you're right, it was a banger game. It was a banger game. I think if you go back to the negotiation table and try to negotiate for a specific amount of money, minimum being 700K, then I think maybe you can get FAMU back in this game. Maybe. Used to be, I mean. Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. But yeah, 700K minimum, I think, is where you could start at baseline and try to negotiate your way back up for that game. I know FAMU doesn't have, I don't think they have any openings. I don't think they have an opening for 2025 with that game or 2026. I mean, I think the best thing you could do right now is try for 2027. And then, honestly, by then, unfortunately, you don't know what may happen to the Orange Blossom Classic without FAMU in it. Because financially, I think that did not do wonders for Miami's economy, or even the ticket sales were just pitiful. I mean, but we'll see what happens. It's a long time between 2027 and now. It's a long time. Yeah. But it's funny, Ace mentions how she got FAMU out of the Orange Blossom Classic. She's also the person that didn't think Willie Simmons was worth a second contract. She's also that same person. Because that deal should have been done before the SWAC championship. It should have been done, folks. And she said she didn't feel he was worth it. So now you sit here thinking like, geez, what could have possibly been? But I get it as well too. Still have more people when FAMU played there than a regular Miami home game.
Uh-oh.
That's a fact. Shots fired, but that is a fact. Don't get me started on that part. He's right. He's absolutely right. But yeah, I mean, hey, I get it. People are gonna say, well, Willie should still be here, but at the same time too, Willie was already getting offers and stuff and looks and stuff from certain places and stuff like that. Is it true South Carolina wanted him in a position coach role? It is. Thank God Courtney DeGaucher stepped in and offered that extension during COVID. Now, is it also true that USF may have wanted Willie Simmons? I don't think so. I mean, he really was not on their radar, to be honest. He was a name that was thrown around. But at the same time, too, their main guy that they wanted was Coach Prime. They couldn't afford him. He probably would have done wonders for them in recruiting in the state of Florida, but they couldn't afford him. They got the facilities coming up and stuff and everything like that, but, they probably just couldn't get it fast enough. And honestly, too, I think a lot of folks in Tampa and at South Florida will agree. They like the fact that they have Alex Golish instead. And a lot of folks in the HBC world don't miss Coach Prime. We just don't. So I'm going to get to that one later. I'm going to bring that one back up later. So, that being said,
Ace also said, if USF beats Miami, I think Golish hire is automatic massive with W over Dion.
100%, dude. It's 100%. I'm going to bring that back. But with that, I guess we can go ahead and swing on over to college, because I guess that's where we're going next with this. So, where are we at? Where's he at? Let's bring this back. So, yeah, if USF beats Miami, I think Golish hires automatic massive W over Dion. Regardless, now it is a massive W over Dion and what was done. Yeah. Honestly, look, Golish, you saw the roots of it last year. He's built USF into what could prospectively be a team that could sneak into this 12-team playoff. Deion doesn't have a signature win with Colorado or else. That's true. It's very true. Huge 2 straight wins over your rival that you're not going to see until 2028, 2029. That's about it. And then huge debut win against TCU a year ago, but let's see. USF needs to get the hell out of the AAC. That AD is tripping right now. I mean, honestly, they should go to the ACC personally. With Florida State trying to get out, even though Florida State doesn't need to go anywhere, they need to stay right the hell where they're at because they ain't worth a shit. Shador got more cryberry moments comparing learning about his team more than wins. Oh, jeez. My God.
Is Ace just like a hater or something of like Colorado and Shador or something? Or
I mean, honestly, he's not the only one. It's
I mean, I don't like it either. I don't like it either because it's like father son, and I get it. Like you're trying to mentor your son to be like the best of the best, and he's good, but like I don't know. I want to say it's like give it a few years, and then we'll see like what Shador looks like maybe by his senior year.
I mean, he's going to the NFL after this. Actually, it's funny enough. We can go ahead and pull up that big board that I have.
Yeah, I don't know if he needs to go now. I think he needs to wait another year. My opinion.
Yeah, you know, kids don't wait these days.
No, they don't. They don't. I mean, again, I know you have the topic of like Bryce Young, but yeah.
No, I'm just gonna blow it up to the top 5 guys.
The top 5, and look, Jalen Milroe isn't top 5. That's funny.
I understand.
But I understand because I feel like he's very good, but he's I mean,
I like Shador, but the whole Prime family got a massive ego right now, and he improved shit in the Power 5.
I almost agree with this Power 5 to a point, but I would scratch Shador. I would put Shador at 6 or 7. He's like more of like top 10 easily.
It's funny you say that because he's actually mocked to go to the Giants or the Raiders.
Raiders or Giants?
Because spoiler alert, both
teams
are projected to not be that good this year, I should say.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair.
I, for one, have said, and I was saving this for when we talked about the Dolphins, but I'll kind of go through it now. For one, I think this is pretty fair at the moment. You look at the top 5. Jackson Dart is a pretty decent quarterback. Cam Ward is steadily going to, I think, shoot up these draft boards. I think he'll be maybe him and Carson Beck will probably be the top 2 QBs on this draft board by season's end. Dillon Gabriel, I don't think is 6th. I think Jalen Milroe at the moment is like the 6th best QB coming into this draft. I think Dillon Gabriel's deservedly so supposed to be at 7, but I think this 8, 9, and 10 is spot on. But as it stands right now, I think this is fair after only 3 weeks of play, or technically 4 weeks.
Definitely. I've even watched like all of the games with Miller Moss, and I think that that dude goes places too.
People saying Cam Ward going 1 right. Nah, he's not going 1. Oh no.
No.
Honestly, I think right now it's too soon to even say who a quarterback's even going 1 because you need to let the NFL season play out and see how bad things are. But honestly, too, I think if we're being honest right now, and we'll talk about this again in the NFL, I think the Carolina Panthers are going to have the first pick. And they're going to ruin one of these guys, one of these top 10 guys I've already shown you. is going to have their life ruined when they get selected by the Panthers at number 1 overall. Hate to say it. You better hope it's not your favorite quarterback that's on this draft board. Dylan Gabriel's a 5th round at best. I would get with that. Dude's trash. Miller Moss is going to sneak into the top 15. Bookmark this comment.
Oh, yeah. I agree.
Carson Beck seems like a David Tepper guy for certain reasons. I hope not.
Oh,
God, I hope not. Jeez, don't put that evil on him.
Yeah, I hope not either. But I mean, like right now, if you look at it, like I think the top 2 quarterbacks, yeah, Carson Beck, Quinn Ewers, those 2 are like the top of the leaderboard right now as we speak. Shador, yeah, I don't know.
Well, so the other thing too that we can hop into, of course, because 2 things. So let's go ahead and talk about this one. Who has the upper hand? Miami or USF this weekend?
Miami and USF. Ooh.
Miami's actually favored by 16.5. Actually, whoa, it moved. Yeah, no, my bad. The spread is 16.5. Miami's favored. And according to the ESPN Power Index, Miami's a 85.2% favorite to win this game. USF is a lowly 14.8%.
Miami, no doubt about it.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I agree with you. I know
nothing against the Bulls, like or anything, but
that was my Alexa. I don't know why she started talking. But let's keep going. Yeah. So
nothing against the Bulls or anything, but I mean, I think the way they put up a battle against Alabama and how close of a game that was, like. I don't know what they need to do differently, but they just need to get more yardage. They, disregard time of play is crucial in the game of football, but you also need to learn to make big plays, and they need to learn to do that more often. It's like with Kentucky.
Ace, I see your comment. I'm going to bring it up when we get to the NFL. Byron Brown hit some deep balls, and I think USF's got a chance. Hey. It's possible.
I mean, it's possible. Yeah, it's possible.
If there is one thing that I took away from his presser after the Alabama game when I was watching college football final, he hinted at the fact that we played good ball until the last 10 minutes, and then we just fell apart. And he said he didn't know what that was from, but he said he expects him to improve upon that. And I think. Honestly, based off of people saying certain things, I think, and plus the fact that this is 2 Florida teams going at it, they want to figure out who is the best in Florida, even though you see that team in Orlando's got a little something they want to say about it too. And I'll show you comments of that as well. I think, I think we're in for a good one.
Yeah.
Well, just got to move the pocket for him so he has a better launch point, and I think they're good. I think they just got to keep Miami off balance if they're going to have a chance. They got to utilize Byron Brown as a runner and a thrower. I was waiting for Mr. Sasser to chime in.
Sorry. Yeah.
You're good.
I agree. I agree with that comment.
For instance, okay, so I'm going to just bring up the box score from last week. Naquan Wright, who had 105 yards against Southern Miss, I think him and Byron Brown are going to have to both be electrifying on the ground. And then, of course, when you look at, receivers and stuff, Atkins, who I think wears number 38 for USF. Yeah, Sean Atkins, he wears number 38 for USF, is going to have to be amazing this weekend as well, too. As well as Jaden Alexis, Michael Brown. Is he the corner or is he the wide receiver? Oh, yeah, Michael Brown Stevens. I think he's another guy that's going to have a big day as well, too. Because Xavier Restrepo in his wide receiving core and Martinez and company. Ooh. Corners got to play better than they did against Southern Miss because they got burnt on some off-script plays. Well, there's some more that more safety's fault because the middle field was wide open. USF wide receivers.
Yes, they do. They got to catch the ball.
Looking at your
Holy
Butterfinger.
crap. They had way too many drops that game against Alabama. Like,
yeah.
make some plays. Wake the frick up, guys.
What does it go back to again? What does it go back to again? And this is how I just want people to know that this isn't just like a FAMU problem. This is a all over college football problem. Tackling. As the game wore on against Alabama, USF didn't tackle well. Oh my gosh, I need to change the background. I'm tripping. USF didn't tackle well. It's a fact. It has to get better. Now, the other two games that are big games as well, and I'll go ahead and share that image too, as far as the most intriguing games of this week 4 slate. So looking at it as follows, if there are any games I'm looking at this weekend, it's definitely the Utah-Oklahoma State game. It's definitely the 3 SWAC games, Jackson State Grambling, Southern Prairie View, FAMU, Troy, and then, of course, Miami and USF. And even that last one right there, I think I know who Mr. Sasser's taking when the Vols travel to Norman, Oklahoma this weekend.
I still think that's going to be because again, it's an SEC matchup, it's going to be a tough battle, but I feel like that might be one of their losses, but I would be surprised if they could, because they've been on a winning streak. I mean, yeah, they played Kent State, and they played Vanderbilt and Chattanooga and stuff.
And
they
NC
wiped
State.
the floor with them. And NC State. And look at how they did against NC State. I don't remember what the final score was, but they dominated. So they need to feel good. They need to keep on that high rise, that high right there. They need to go into this game with that same attitude, that same, everything.
So,
yeah.
I'm going to put it to you like this. Right now, Tennessee's actually favored by 7. The spread is 57.5 going into this game. Both teams are actually 3-0. There's actually an article on Josh Heupel going back to Oklahoma. That cut was deep. After a bitter parting, Tennessee coach Josh Heupel comes home to Oklahoma. So, as following, he speaks on his deep-rooted respect for the Oklahoma program, along with Tennessee looking to spoil college game day in Norman. So, a decade ago, after a 40-6 loss to Clemson in the Russell Athletic Bowl, Bob Stoops' longtime assistant Cale Gundy, Stoops asked Gundy if he could meet him at Bison Witches in downtown Norman. There, Stoops told Gundy he was going to fire offensive coordinator Josh Heupel. Mind you, this was a decade ago. The Sooners had just suffered through the worst season under Stoops. TCU and Kansas State upset them. Baylor blew them out, and Oklahoma State propelled Tyreek Hill's punt return rally to win a Bedlam overtime thriller. Then in the bowl game, Brent Venables' Clemson defense shut down the Sooners in a humiliating defeat. Bob had to make a change, Gundy recalled. I don't know. It was tough. It wasn't just struggles on the offensive side, but Bob had to make a decision. An unbelievably tough call. Heupel was and remains OU royalty. In 2000, he quarterbacked the Sooners to their 7th national championship. OU hadn't won a title since. And Heupel later proved to be a valued assistant during the Sooners' prolific run through the 2000s. He mentored Heisman Trophy-winning quarterbacks Jason White and Sam Bradford. He became the OC in 2011. In the next 4 seasons, they averaged 475 yards per game, the 10th best in college football during that span. But in 2014, Stoops realized that his Sooners needed a spark. And shortly after a meeting with Gundy, Stoops had fired Heupel, later calling it the worst day in his 18 years as Oklahoma's coach. He says he has a deep appreciation for Josh Heupel. So, hey, this is a little, from what it sounds like, this is a little personal.
Yikes.
Going back to Norman this weekend.
And no hate on Josh Heupel, but don't you mean Bobby Heupel?
You need to stop.
I mean,
What? Oh my god!
I had to lighten the mood there.
What?
Sorry.
Where did you find that?
Just type in Google. I just Google. You just Google his picture, put in Bobby Hill, and people think he looks. I mean, it's been around on the internet for a while. I mean, it's not like it's new. It's not like it's
Okay,
new. It's been around for a minute.
Good God.
Bobby Hapu. No.
Tennessee's going to welcome Oklahoma to the SEC.
I sure hope they do.
This ain't the Big 12. Oklahoma get ready to play bully ball. Now, hey, I will say, but it was under Butch Davis back in like 2015. Oklahoma has played Tennessee before. And Tennessee jumped out on them. This was actually, I think, Baker Mayfield's first year at Oklahoma, too. Tennessee jumped out on Oklahoma. Baker Mayfield rallied them back in Neyland to get a win. So, I think maybe the script is flipped this time, but from what it sounds like, this is a very personal game for Josh Heupel just to win this. So I'm running with the Vols.
Yeah, you got to run with the Vols. You got to.
Yeah, definitely feeling it.
And not only that, but I do remember. I think it was either last year or the year before that. I remember Oklahoma in the Texas game, and I think was it at Texas or was it at Oklahoma? I don't remember.
Well, I mean, I
remember that crowd was crazy, and I remember that was like a back and forth game. So I have no doubts this is going to be a back and forth game, unless it's just going to be a blowout by the Vols, hopefully.
It's going to be raucous. It's going to be intense.
Yeah, I feel like it's going to be a very close game. It's going to be a battle of last possession, I think.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah. Let's see. USC is going to murder Michigan. Yeah, no, they are. They are. Michigan's wounded, man. Michigan is wounded.
They're hurt, confused. They're dazed and confused.
I wasn't expecting USC to look how they've looked, but dude, USC looks good.
Yeah.
Taking out LSU, and now you got a reeling Michigan team that just got their doors blown off by Texas.
Miller Moss, baby. Like you said, he'll slip in there in the top 10, 15 bracket right there, benchmark.
LSU's got to lock in and stop tweaking. Yeah,
they do.
They're facing another California Big Ten team right now, and look, dude. I mean, I think the beauty of this one is you have this one in Death Valley where you got them coming to you this time. And no Coach O anymore. So, look, Brian Kelly's got to.
I feel his frustration, man. Like that press conference where he slams the table. Like I feel that frustration, man. Like it's just like you got to start winning. You got to start making big plays. Like lock in. Yeah.
Now I think I'm gonna assume it was only just a week one thing, where they can't seem to win week one games, because you've seen it where LSU's lost. I don't think he's on. If he would have lost to South Carolina, I think it would have rumbled. It would have got hotter. But because he beat South Carolina, he's off it for a little while. Yeah. I think he just struggles to win openers, because we saw him lose 2 straight to Florida State, and then we saw him lose to LSU. But he got back in the saddle against South Carolina, which I mean, even Nick Saban admitted that's a tough place to play. And quite frankly, it is, because when they start jumping around and playing Sandstorm, it's tough.
I agree. He doesn't win big games.
He doesn't.
That's the problem.
I think he hung his hat too much on the 2022 matchup when he beat Alabama.
Yeah.
I think he did.
Yeah.
And I think now this is another one where you have a Big Ten / California team coming into your house. You need to flex off the magic of Tiger Stadium, and you need to win this.
Yeah,
I'm still giving LSU a shot in this one. I think they're going to win it, but don't make this an easy trip for UCLA.
No, you cannot.
Now, the other two up there, NC State, Clemson, For a little while, I had NC State, but now I've switched to Clemson. Looking at like how NC State has struggled with a couple of teams.
Yeah. I mean, again, they got blown out by the Vols. In Clemson, like, I don't know. It's like a weird, confusing like thing right now. Again, we're still early on into like football and everything, but with like the ACC in general, like just you don't know who's really battling for the top. But Miami looks kind of like the best team right now in the ACC so far.
Oh, dude, Miami's the best team in the ACC, hands down.
Yeah,
hands
I
down.
mean, compared to Florida State and Clemson, like, yeah, I think Miami's right now on
Miami's
top.
going to beat Florida State, and if Miami were to see Clemson on a neutral field, or even in Clemson, Miami would win.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they would.
LSU sold their souls for that. Honestly,
yeah, they did. Yeah,
I'm going to say no.
No,
I'm going to say no. Because why? Because people said the same thing back in 2007. And LSU was a 2-loss team and they won the title that year.
Oh yeah.
And even in 2003.
I remember that.
You know, everybody was like Saban came in and won them a title in 2003. Then he dipped a couple years later for the NFL. And they sold their soul for that one in 2003. And then it gets 2007, the wackiest year of the BCS. And LSU sold their soul for that one. And now we're here in 2019. LSU sold their soul. So maybe
that's just an LSU curse.
Possibly. It's also too.
So maybe that's just it with LSU.
Curse. Every time LSU's in the
sell their souls to like.
Every time LSU's in the championship, the game is in New Orleans, in the Superdome. It is nowhere else.
Really? I don't remember, but I'd have to look back on that on their like championship runs. I don't know. That's interesting though.
2003. 2007. 2007 they play Ohio State.
I kind of remember the 2007, but not really that. I mean, that was kind of babies.
That was Matt Flynn, I think. 2007 they play Ohio State and they blow the doors off of Ohio. I think it was like 38-24. They beat Ohio State. And in 2019, they go in there and blast Clemson. All in the Superdome. All in the Superdome. A combo needs to be had about Mike Norvell as well.
I agree. I had to click on that because I was like, oh, yeah. Hey, so what are you just saying here?
100% Jordan. I think he does have a losing record without Jordan Travis, actually. I agree with that.
It's just a quarterback problem. I feel like a lot of these teams from last year, it's a quarterback issue. I don't look at it like sure, it could be a little bit of a coaching standpoint, but what else can the coach really say and do? It's a player thing, you know? Comes down to the player. If DJ isn't it, then DJ needs to.
I don't think this offense suits DJ. I don't. I feel like it's not in his forte. I think when he was at Clemson and even when he was at Oregon State, they modified their offenses to where it was favorable to him. And I think that this offense is not favorable to DJ. And that crazy talent, I'm going to say this, that crazy talent that he recruited through the portal, and this is where I say live by the portal, die by the portal. He brought that talent in. He brought in, and they can't run the ball right now because their offensive line is bad. But again, you live by the portal, you die by the portal. It was actually funny. Florida fans were laughing at Florida State for taking one of their players on their offensive line and sticking them on Florida State's offensive line. And look at how bad Florida State's offensive line is. Again, you live by the portal, you die by the portal. You had Jordan Travis out of the portal, good player. You went out and got DJU out of the portal, bad player.
Yep.
So, again, you got it. I think it's a little bit of it is when you go shopping in the portal, you need to know what you're going to go look for. Does this guy suit your offense? I'm gonna tell you now. What if Florida State had landed Cam Ward? instead of Miami?
Oh.
Are we having this conversation?
Or
Cam Ward knows how to climb and move in the. Cam Ward knows how to climb and move around in the pocket like Jordan Travis did.
Right. Or could it still be that same effect? Is it not just the quarterback? Is it the O-line that's the problem then?
This is
Well, what if that could have happened? You know, what if he did go to Florida State and it's still the same issue that it is now?
Same principles, I think.
Same principle, yeah.
Because what did Jordan Travis do a lot of? He scrambled around. He created plays with his feet. He found soft spots in coverage off of scrambling around on his feet. The play against Florida where he literally rolls out to the right under heavy pressure and gets down to the 1 yard line or the 1 inch line. Horrible play by the offensive line on that play. Excellent play to improvise by Jordan Travis. So I still stick true to it. What if Cam Ward, like everybody kept saying, doesn't get out of Tallahassee? What if? It makes you wonder. Oh yeah, he is. Here's the thing: if you do get rid of him, who do you replace him with? That's the dilemma Florida has right now. And funny enough, ESPN's even talked about this too. If you move on from Billy Napier right now, who fills in that can rally this team? Because if you fire him after 3 games, moral support's gone. You lose that locker room.
Yeah, you do.
And you have a winnable game you're staring at right now where you're playing Mississippi State. Mississippi State is not good. They're not. That's winnable. You might get your second win this season, which I know Gator fans don't want to admit that, but this might be a game that kind of helps Billy Napier stick around for 3 weeks. Now, the nail in the coffin will be when he plays UCF. That's the dagger.
Yeah.
You're like, nah, we've lost twice now to UCF. Ooh, no.
Yeah.
He had that.
I will say this, though, about Mississippi, since I am in Mississippi right now. Damn, they got some good barbecue and some good diner food. Just a random side note. I just had to spew out there. So their team might be horrible, but they got some pretty damn good barbecue and they got some pretty damn good diner food, guys. I recommend it.
What are we gonna do with you? All right, so now I guess I can just lead off with this question. I know he had it up here earlier. Golly, he wrote it.
Oh, I see you changed the logo to NFL.
Yeah, here we go. Saints are going 1 and done this year in the playoffs. Kubiak gets a head coaching job. Saints suck next year with Carr regressing without him, and Arch Manning and a new head coach with the Saints in 2026. Okay, Nostradamus. Damn. All right. Hey, I mean, look, that's a stretch. That's a stretch for that to happen. So we'll see. We'll see. I mean, for Arch to go back to where his granddaddy got famous, you know, that's a lot. That's huge. But yeah, so I think the first thing we can start off with is basically this whole NFC South roundtable. You know, we can just ask the question now: is the NFC South competitive once again? I'll simplify it for you. There's the good, there's the good, there's the decent, and then there's the outright ugly.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it. But it's like it's still a constant battle. Like the downright ugly, horrible is the Panthers. I feel like the Bucs and the Saints are pretty much on top. They had a huge win against freaking Prescott and freaking Dallas. Oh my god! And then literally just the other night, they had the Falcons had somehow have a miracle against Philly, and I'm like, I went to go take a shower because I was just like, it's a minute 40 left. They're going to run out the clock. I saw, freaking Saquon drop that ball. That was too easy not to miss. And I'm like, how do you fuck up? And then look, you give them the ball back with a minute 40 left. And look at what they did. I didn't watch it because I was in the shower, but I got the notification was like, what? What? So, but yeah, they do. They have a lot of work to do, but I feel like they could be good.
I say this. I like the Falcons are actually they're better. They're better this year. How much better? I don't know. We'll find out when they play better teams. Because honestly, and I know everybody's gonna be like, "What do you mean? You can't say. What do you mean? The Eagles are good. They were in the playoffs last year." Jalen Hurts is 2-9 in his last 11 games. It's 2-9. Actually, where is it at? You know what? Let me find it. Let me find it. There we go. All right. Here we go. So for those of you that are going to sit here and say eventually that, oh, well, you can't say that about the Eagles. Look at this. One's a backup, Mac Jones. Jalen Hurts in question right now, who just lost to the Eagles last night. 2-9 in his last 11 games. The Eagles have progressively gotten worse dating back to last season. I don't think they're going to be world beaters this year. That division's up for grabs. Because right now, the way it's looking, despite getting manhandled by New Orleans, I feel like Dallas has the upper hand. I really do. My worry is the Saints are peaking way too early. Bucks are fine because they're close game practices. The Bucks know how to win close games. They do, and that was a matchup of two playoff teams, of two teams that will be in the playoffs and two teams that will possibly win their division.
Oh yeah,
I still think Detroit's going to win the NFC North. I still do, but
definitely.
Yeah, I mean, I know that's the way with the Saints folks is, are they peaking way too early? We're going to see just how good the Saints are this weekend coming up. You got Philadelphia coming to town. And then, of course, after that, here soon, you got Kansas City. So this little stretch is going to be interesting. And then, of course, you're going to see the Bucks in New Orleans. So we'll see. Hey, two weeks worth of film study out there now.
Yeah.
Let's see. Saints are unsustainable right now, it feels like, because defenses are going to adjust at some point. I feel it. Well,
I mean, I feel like defense, you always got to adjust, though. That's the thing. You got to adjust.
You do. And then at the same time, because I get what he's saying now. I get what Ace is saying. Because sometimes it's like you think about it, and it's like, how deep into the bag of tricks are the Saints digging right now? How much of their hand have they shown right now?
Yeah.
Because I'm wondering that right now too. Like,
did they show enough? Did they show enough against Dallas, or were they like, oh, this is only the beginning? Like, is there more to come? Like,
I mean, give or take, they didn't have to show a whole lot against Carolina because, as you see, Buddy right there on the bottom right there next to Tua got benched.
Yikes!
But I mean, hopefully they didn't show too much. We're gonna see this weekend. Especially, it's emotional. It's another emotional game. Speaking of emotional games, because Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, Ace's favorite Saints player from a couple years ago, coming back to New Orleans. Wearing that number 8 for Kobe in Philadelphia. And then got toasted on Monday Night Football. Trevor Lawrence hasn't won a game since last Thanksgiving. Hey, honestly, call me crazy about that, but I do think you may see Mac Jones at some point if Trevor Lawrence doesn't play well. I look at the 2021 Eagles or 2019 Steelers, the years might be a bit off. Barbecue chicken alert. I know he's talking about Chauncey when he says that.
Or is he eating some barbecue chicken right now?
No, it's not T-Law. Doug Peterson is trash. Hey. Oh, okay. I get what you're saying when you say it's not T-Law. Okay, I got you. Yeah, no. But Doug Peterson is bad. He said he wishes he was eating barbecue chicken. But
yeah.
hey, no, honestly, I think a lot of Saints folks, including Ace, want to see Chauncey get served justice this weekend. Because of what he said about Tyrann Mathieu. That was actually the funny part, was what he said about Tyrann Mathieu. I'm sitting here in the middle, man. I don't care. Much like the UCF folks getting upset when I mentioned how USF and Miami is basically the Battle of Florida this weekend. I'm the middleman when I'm sitting here watching what Chauncey said about the Saints, saying, oh, they replaced me with Honey Badger. Now look at where they're at. Damn. All right.
I think to sum it up, though, is the NFC South competitive once again. I think it's a battle between basically Atlanta and Saints at this point. I mean, I feel like the Bucs, are they going to stay up top? Are they going to keep climbing to the top? Absolutely. How long are they going to stay there? Are they going to fall off, at some point? How constant are they going to be? But I feel like we're going to see those battles coming up soon. And that's what's on the schedule in the next couple of weeks. So that's going to be some good games to look at, I think, in the next couple of weeks.
Bryce Young or Matthew Stafford to the Raiders already. I don't see Stafford leaving the Rams.
Nah, yeah, probably Bryce Young.
Now, Bryce Young were to die and go to the Raiders, probably might be good for his career, quite frankly. It would be good for Bryce Young's career to probably get out of Carolina. Because, funny enough, I have another image here I can show you.
All right, pulling up that image. Ace, I got a question for you. What is this trade here, dude? This is what I was talking about earlier.
Because look at that.
Oh, I love that meme. I love that meme so much.
You start with Cam Newton.
Oh, yeah.
And then we go all the way to Teddy.
Oh, man.
And then Tepper goes up to Sam Darnold. And then Tepper goes to Baker. And then Tepper goes to Bryce Young. And then we go to the door for the 2025 first overall pick, which might be Quinn Ewers, might be Shador, might be Cam Ward, could be Jackson Dart.
Shador. I think out of all of them, Shador.
Oh, my God.
If he wants to go into the NFL, that's where he's going to go. Sorry. I think, I don't know.
That is brutal. We're just like David Tepper is just acting as a grim reaper at this point. Bucks winning a playoff game. Derek Carr is going to go outdoors and embarrass his behind at the end of the season in Green Bay to lose the division. I think the Bucks can win a playoff game or two. I can see them getting to the NFC Championship where they're playing now. I can see the Saints getting in the playoffs too. But I don't know if winning the division, I don't know.
But Green Bay losing the division? Yeah.
Shador pulling Eli and not going. Hey, I can see that too. I can see that. So for those of you that don't know, so the funny thing was the Chargers wanted Eli, I think back in, the 2004 draft. The Manning family told the Chargers, no, he's not going there. I think they ended up, drafting him anyway. And then they traded him to the Giants for a pick. And then the Chargers ended up with Phillip Rivers. The Giants end up with a young Eli Manning sitting behind Kurt Warner and then eventually taking over for Kurt Warner. And both have Hall of Fame careers in their respective places. And the rest is history. So I can see Coach Prime or Deion throwing a hissy fit and probably getting what he wants. And not letting his son go there. Because quite frankly, at this point right now, I would agree with Deion. For the love of God, don't let Shador go to Carolina. None of those guys need to go to Carolina.
Yeah.
But with that being said, also too, Chiefs showed that they still own the Bengals.
Hey, Ace, do you want to give me Saquon Barkley?
Yeah, go ahead and ask your fantasy question.
Ace?
You froze. Say it again. Ask it again.
No, I mean, okay, so in fantasy, he wants to give me who does he want to give me? He wants to give me shoot, where's it at? I can't find it now. Basically, he wanted to give me God damn, this freaking app, dude. Swear to God.
All right, well, while you find that, I'm going to go ahead and bring this up. I didn't see it as him trying to brush him off. I saw it as him just trying to incite some wisdom. Now, whether or not Caleb takes it is one thing. I'm Caleb, and I better listen. CJ was a rookie that made the playoffs. I was trolling.
You're trolling me? Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Unless you want to give me
saying-
Saquon Barkley, Ace. I mean, I would take Saquon Barkley. My running back's not that good, so. Nah. Yeah, no.
He said he was bored.
He was bored.
I mean, dude, look, his
I mean, it didn't look bad, but like, I don't know. Saquon for tomorrow, huh? No, okay.
Also, too, can we talk about how the Ravens are a shocking 0-2 right now?
Yeah, what up with that? Like, god damn, what's going on there?
Dude, I'm about as shocked as you are. I was not. I understand.
Who are some like other like? Are there any other 0-2 teams right now?
So we can go to the
god
standings.
damn, the
and
Rays
actually point
lost.
that out.
Okay.
So as far as 0-2
Sorry,
teams,
that just came through like just now, and you have it in the background.
outside of the Carolina Panthers and the Baltimore Ravens, the Rams are 0-2. Super shockingly, the Giants are 0-2. No surprise there. Their fans are actually waiting outside after the game to heckle Daniel Jones. The Broncos are 0-2. Spoiler alert: they come to Tampa this weekend to get bludgeoned.
Soon to be 0-3.
Everybody in the AFC South except the Texans is 0-2. So the Colts, the Jaguars, and the Titans. The Jaguars have got to be probably very disappointing. I'm very disappointed in the Jags myself, personally. And as well, too, the Bengals are 0-2. And that's it.
Titans. I don't know if you said the Titans or not.
Yeah, the entire AFC South, except for the Texans. Okay. And call me crazy. Hey, if things keep unfolding the way they're unfolding, they could win the AFC North.
Yes, they could.
I know Hendricks won't want to hear that. I know that's very hard to believe and stuff, but hey, Pittsburgh could win the AFC North off of technicality. If the Ravens don't get their ish together, if Burrow and the Bengals don't get their ish figured out, it could be the Steelers division this year. And I don't have faith in the Browns. Not with Deshaun Watson.
Oh. Not with Deshaun and more counts of sexual assault or whatever. I don't know. He got more like I don't know, more allegations against him. Jesus. Like the man can't play football. It's just more allegations compared to interceptions.
It's literally just it's so simple. Go to work, go to practice, go to the gym.
Yep.
Take your ass home.
Yeah.
Problem solved.
Yep. I mean, we could have like another whole conversation about like all the other controversies with different players. Like, yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, look, it's shocking to see some of these teams be 0-2. I mean, I think some of them will get it figured out, of course. Anybody want Kittle and finish fantasy? I already got Brock Bowers. Send me something after this is up. I personally don't need Kittle. That's up to you, dude.
I don't know.
I know. I will say I'll take a minute to say I love how you've just become so enamored with fantasy football, Mr. Sass.
I'm trying to. I'm really trying to, man. It's confusing and hard. It's like I don't know what I'm looking at when I look at fantasy. I just want to look at like more teams and like stats for teams, like over and under as far as like how are they going to perform this week
All
and
right,
next
well,
week.
I'll give you some stats or some over and unders and some.
Yeah.
So as far as tomorrow night goes with the Patriots and the Jets, the Jets are favored by 6 in New York against the Patriots.
Yeah, give me that one. I'm curious because the Jets are.
The
You say
Bucks are favored by
you say the
6.5.
Jets are?
Wait, say that again. Can you hear me?
Sorry, I don't know if it's hotel Wi-Fi or what, but it's just really going in and out constantly.
Oh, no, you're good. No, I said the Jets are favored by 6.
I'm gonna try. If you can hear me, I'm gonna try leaving and joining again.
Oh well, I could hear him. I don't know what happened. But as I was saying, yeah, Jets are favored by 6. Broncos are 6.5 point underdog to the Bucks. Steelers are favored by 1.5 against the Chargers this weekend. Texans are 2-point favorites against the Vikings. Saints are 2.5 point favorites against the Eagles. Titans are 1.5 point favorites against the Packers. Browns are 6.5 point favorites over the Giants. Colts are 1 point favorites over the Colts or over the Bears. Vegas is favored by 5 over Carolina. Seattle's favored by 4 against Miami, which I agree with that. I think the Dolphins need to go ahead and start thinking about a QB in the first round now. Baltimore favored by 1 against Dallas. Detroit favored by let me fix that. Detroit favored by 3 against Arizona. San Francisco favored by 7 against the Rams. Kansas City favored by 3.5 on Sunday Night Football in Atlanta against the Falcons. And then the Monday Night doubleheader, Buffalo favored by 5 against Jacksonville. Cincinnati favored by 7.5 against Washington. All right.
Can you hear me?
Hold on. I can hear you.
All right. Yeah, for some reason, internet got so bad. Again, it's hotel Wi-Fi. It's not the best. So
it's funny you mentioned KC this weekend. So here's what's happening this weekend. So Arthur Blank is going into the Falcons Ring of Honor this weekend. And so what they did was they're offering free hot dogs and chips and a free cold beverage to everybody that attends this game. Just one round for everybody. But free hot dogs, free bags of chips, and free drink to everybody for Arthur Blank's Ring of Honor ceremony.
don't mind if I do. Let me join that game.
I mean, hey, you're just a short little drive away.
Wait, am I really?
I mean, you just got to go down to Highway 85 and you're in Atlanta. Where you're at.
Yeah.
Straight shot. I mean, you'll be driving through some backwoods and some pretty sketchy places, but you'll get there.
Yeah, probably.
But this is also true too. They are carried by the refs. They are, and we've seen it time and time again. You know, it just makes you wonder when is it going to run out? You know, right now they're on pace to be the first North American sports team to three-peat since the 2000 to 2002 Lakers.
Damn.
I know.
Wait, so that was like the last three-peat ever? Or what?
So, yeah, you had You had 2 3-peats recently.
Sports.
So you had basically you had the back-to-back 3-peats by the Bulls in the 90s. And then you had the Kobe Shaq Lakers from 2000 and 2002 that 3-peated. The Lightning had an opportunity to 3-peat from 2020 to 2022. And then, Colorado was just too much for the Lightning in that series.
Too much.
And now you have Kansas City, who's won. They beat Philadelphia, and what was that, Super Bowl 57, and then Super Bowl 58, they beat San Francisco, and now Super Bowl 59 is in New Orleans this year. Kansas City, they are the cream of the crop and the standard in the AFC right now and in the NFL. So, hey, who can get there and beat them? The only team we've seen stop them in the Super Bowl is the Todd Bowles-led Bucks defense, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
What? You wild.
Oh, Kelsey. Yeah, I don't know. Kelsey is kind of washed. I'm not gonna lie. Dude, did you I don't know if you've seen the picture on, I don't know where it is on social media, but it's a side-by-side comparison of what he looked like last year and what he looks like now.
Yeah, he's
The
been
man looked
gentrified.
he looks like he aged 20, 30 years easily. Guy looks like he has wrinkles and he's got gray hair and shit. And he's got the weirdest fucking haircut ever. Sorry.
No, you're good. Hold on, let me see
Not the
something.
weirdest
I'm trying to
haircut.
see. I'm trying to look at when did he come into the league, just to get an idea. So let's see here. Dating chocolate versus paper. Hey, you know what? I think a lot of people agree with you. He shouldn't have left what he was with. I'll be the first to say that. So he was the third round pick in the 2013 NFL draft. So he's been in the league, 3-time Super Bowl champ, been in the league 11 years. You know what? Speaking of that 11-year mark,
like something like that, right? That was fresh. That was good. You looked young and fresh. And where's the most recent picture? I saw it. I don't know if it's just the style. I don't know. People are kind of talking about that. It's just weird.
He's coming up on his time to go.
He looks like he's trying to pull off this Top Gun look,
He's coming up on his time to get out. I'll say that. 11 years in the league. He's coming up on his time.
How long was
his brother? His brother made it to. His brother did 2011 to 2021 was 10. His brother did 12 years. No. Yeah, 12 years. His brother did 12 years in the league. Mind you, offensive linemen take a different amount of pounding than tight ends, give or take.
Yeah.
But his brother realized it was time to go, and his brother got out. How much longer does Travis Kelce play? I don't know. But his clock is definitely ticking. He's got more behind him than he's got in front of him.
I think if they do a 3-peat, if Kansas City somehow unforeseeably wins again, I feel like that will be his last hurrah. He'll be like, all right, I'm good to go. I'm good to retire.
Yeah, I think
good to settle down.
You hear a lot of it happen. That was Aaron Donald's thing too. Remember when he got his ring? It was a lot of speculation. Oh my gosh, if he wins, at least come out right before kickoff. If he wins, he's going to retire. And I think, and plus a lot of players are retiring earlier now because they want to save their bodies and stuff because they know the longevity.
Yeah. All of them have families and kids.
Yeah.
Or some of them want to, be around their family and stuff, and I get that.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. So I could see him getting out if they were to 3-peat, or even if they get there and they lose and then come back the next year and run it back again, I could see him getting out probably about maybe at the end of the 2025 or 2026 season.
Yeah,
I could see him just putting some slight work in and then getting out.
Yep. So and then he'll go on tour with his girlfriend Taylor Swift, and he'll be like her backup dancer or some shit.
Hey, get her out of Arrowhead. That's all I got to say.
Oh my God! Yes, please.
Sick of it.
Get her out of the spotlight. Put their mom in the spotlight. Their mom is like a blessing in disguise. Like she's just a mom. Like she's cool as hell. Yeah.
Are they though? We said this last year.
Not the Bengals. I think Texans look better.
Yeah.
Especially if you want to say like, oh, who would win if it's Texans versus Bengals? I'm going to say Texans all the way.
Yeah.
Texans are just,
the Bengals too is
they're the cream of the crop in the AFC right now. I think they're right behind, Kansas City, in my opinion.
And the thing with the Bengals is the Bengals, to me right now, need to prove that they can get out of their division, at least. Bengals got to overcome that 0-2 start. Then they got to figure out a way.
Which I benched him. I benched T. Higgins this week. I don't know if that was a good move. Let me know if you think that's a good move.
Like Jamar stats with him without T is crazy. I believe it, of course, because they shift coverage to him. But yeah, I need more out of the Bengals to make me a believer.
Who are they? Who are they?
Yeah. It's actually funny because I saw I forget which show I was watching or which clip of what show I was watching, but somebody pointed out the fact of like Joe Burrow he's been injured, but also too he has not been good recently since his Super Bowl.
No.
So it's like, it's nice to have all those receivers and stuff, but crap, if you quarterback playing what it's supposed to be. So Joe Burrow needs to step his game up.
Yeah, it does.
Thoroughly outplayed Mahomes, but at the same time, he fumbled at a key moment in the game and he lost it. Yeah, no, I believe it. But at the same time, too, again, he fumbled at a key moment. And Kansas City picked it up and scored. You can't do that.
Nope.
Can't do that. Because right now, games like that, when the Chiefs play the Texans, like these are, I know like they're AFC non-divisional matchups, but these games right here, especially in the AFC, heavily predicated on who gets home field advantage. You got to win them. It's not even enough anymore to win your division in the AFC anymore. If you want that number one spot, you gotta win them types of games. This is also true. But folks, I guess with that's gonna do it for us. We've covered everything tonight. Or should we get our picks out from Mr. Sasser first for the rest of the NFL for this weekend?
Oh, I just want to say one thing. Next Tuesday, first week of preseason hockey.
So when is the hockey podcast coming back? Ace is in the comments. Or when is it coming?
Yeah, Ace, we need to discuss that. Like I said, next Tuesday is the first Lightning home game. So we need to discuss that. But yeah, as far as I know, we have 5 games. Lightning have 5 games. They go home and away twice with the Hurricanes, and they go home and away against the Predators. And then I think they go home one more time with Florida, I want to say. Florida Panthers. So, yeah. And yeah, Hedman as the new captain. That is, I think, probably the hot topic right there to discuss. And then the assistant captains, I agree with having Kucherov as an assistant, but Ryan McDonough, I don't know.
I agree with that. Said Hedman became the new captain.
Yeah, he did.
Also, too, Ace's score prediction for this weekend between FAMU and Troy is out. So, I think this is favorable. I like it.
Damn. That's a high scoring game.
Look, hey, I'll take that. I will take that. That's better than what I was thinking. He's more generous. So yeah, make sure y'all tune in to 5 p.m. Saturday for that. So FAMU and Troy breakdown. Saturday at 5 p.m. We'll talk about it. We'll also recap it and stuff too afterwards and everything. So yes.
So yeah, sorry. What did you say you wanted to get my prediction for what?
Oh, I was gonna say, I was like, let me just go ahead and get your NFL predictions now before we get out of here tonight.
Sure. Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So as you already stated when we talked earlier, you're taking the Jets. Or no, you're taking the Patriots to beat the Jets tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and jump to the first one of the 1 o'clock games. So the Chargers at the Steelers.
Steelers.
Smart man. Likewise. All right. Texans and the Vikings.
Texans.
Fair. Oh, yeah, there you go. You drop yours in the comment too. Let's see. Eagles and the Saints. I know Ace has the Saints.
Ooh, Eagles and Saints. I mean, looking at how the Eagles performed against Atlanta, I'm gonna go with Saints. I'm gonna go with Saints.
Going crazy.
Saints, sadly.
Why he doesn't want to just go ahead and pick the Saints? Like it's okay.
I'm gonna put that up.
It's okay to pick the Saints. Like hell, I'm picking the Saints.
Yeah.
Hey, because I'm just tired of Chauncey. I'm glad Ray smacked the crap out of him Monday night. Packers and Titans.
Packers and Titans. I'd be wrong for picking the Packers, but I kind of have to go with the Packers for some reason. Titans aren't with it right now, but they need to really dig out of this hole somehow. I think Packs are going to come on top.
All right. Let's see. Giants and Browns.
Giants and Browns. Browns.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm actually with you. I'm thinking Browns too. Despite everything I said about Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, exactly.
I think the Browns take it.
I'm also just like, maybe I'm a little bit of like a fanboy, but I'm a fanboy of Myles Garrett. I think that dude's an absolute beast.
Rematch of Super Bowl 41. Bears and Colts.
Bears and Colts.
Not you picking the Giants. I'm going to stick with the... Oh, okay. You know what? Let's go ahead and put it... Yeah, all right. Yeah, Bears, Giants. Or my bad.
Bears and Colts.
Yeah.
Colts.
Is Anthony Richardson going to get off the schneid for once?
Yeah, I think Jonathan Taylor's going to... I mean, he needs to go deep, too. He needs to go in the pocket.
Broncos and the Bucks.
Bucks, no question.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Broncos are...
I agree. It's going to be hot. It's going to be raucous. Definitely rolling with the Bucks for that one. Bucks by 30. Jeez. See, now Ace sounds like stank now.
I mean, seeing how close of a game last week was and the game before that, I mean, they did put up close to 30 points, so I could see it. I could see it happening. 30 points for sure.
So I'm gonna go with Raiders and the Panthers. Remember, Bryce Young's been benched. Sam Darnold is starting for Carolina this weekend.
Yeah. And it's like, how much Raiders?
Yeah, I'm with you.
Because it's just like, you can only give another quarterback so much practice, but if he's not doing plays or anything.
I'm with you. 100%.
I never lost to them, but still with Raiders. What? I'm confused by that comment.
I'm confused by that too.
Wait, Dalton never lost to them, but still Raiders.
Oh, he's talking about Andy Dalton.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Look,
Dude, that's the thing. I noticed that with the NFL. I'm like, there's an Andy Dalton, there's Dalton Schultz. So if anybody puts Dalton in the name, I'm like, me? Question mark? What?
he is under. Okay, I was confused too because I was like, when did you play?
Yeah, no,
Raiders?
I actually play this weekend. What are you talking about? Sorry, guys. Yeah, no, I play this weekend.
Yeah, unless he knows.
I am Andy Dalton and Dalton Schultz understudies. I mentor them. So
I honestly,
guys
for
didn't
a
know.
second, if I'm being real, I really thought that like somehow, some way, he knew like your career record against the Raiders on Madden or something. I'm thinking,
Yeah.
I was like, dang, like Dalton actually have like this burning hate when he plays on Madden for the Raiders or something. Like I don't know. I don't know what's going on here.
Andy Dalton and Dalton Schultz and Dalton Kincaid are like all like my part brothers.
All right, so now we got Dolphins and Seahawks.
Oh, that's a bit of a doozy because it's like looking at the Dolphins and Tua's like constant injuries with his head. It's like, dude, I don't know. Dolphins are looking kind of rough, with Tua and his head injuries. But
Oh, he's going with the Seahawks.
honestly, same. My Seahawks.
Tua needs to retire though, and I agree with this statement. Skylar Thompson does.
Tua needs to retire. You think because of all this again, like the injury?
Dude, yeah. Go ahead and retire. Do right by your money.
Yeah.
Retire. Let's see. Ravens and the Cowboys. 0-2 versus 1-1.
That's a bit of a doozy too, because it's like you just got mollywopped by the Saints, and then you have a team that is also just 0-2. How?
It's crazy how this is America's game of the week.
Crazy enough, this is what I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you it's going to come to a tie.
Stop it.
Yeah, I'm going to say tie. I'm going to say tie. I don't know why. I don't want to pick. I'm going to say tie. Because I really do think it's going to be like a doozy of a game.
Oh my goodness.
Overtime, and then, yeah, I don't know. It might go on overtime.
We riding with Ace. Put it in. While we wait for you to put that in. Lions.
I think I just stunned Ace by that, saying it's going to be a tie.
Lions and the Cardinals.
Lions and Cardinals. Lions.
Yeah, I think they bounce back. I think they're upset.
Oh, yeah. Dan Campbell is hungry.
Let's see. 49ers and the Rams.
49ers. Oh, excuse me.
Yep, I'm with you. And then Chiefs and the Falcons.
Chiefs and Falcons. Chiefs.
I would agree.
Chiefs.
Hey, she never gave me your Lions Cardinals pick. Guess we'll wait for him, but while we do that, we'll go ahead and wrap up. All right, folks. So, with that being said,
you say Cardinals. Oh.
Okay. All right, folks. But with that being said, that's going to do it for us this evening. We appreciate you guys joining us, all 37 of you.
Yeah, let's go.
36 of you on Twitter Live, and the one being Ace on YouTube. We appreciate y'all so much. They are low key. They are. Yeah, we appreciate y'all so much. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe to the channel over here on YouTube and everything like that. FAMU versus Troy breakdown Saturday at 5 p.m. We're going to talk about it and everything like that. But Yeah, also appreciate you joining me tonight, Mr. Sasser.
Thank you. As always.
You know it, man. So with that being said, folks, y'all stay safe, stay blessed. We will see you next Wednesday, or I'll see you Saturday. Good night.
Peace.